for another episode of the Big Busy Podcast. Shire and I were talking about doing this on a weekly basis, but we were so excited to do another one. Keep getting better at this, so we're jumping on midweek to have some more fun conversation. And so, like usual, same house, different rooms for the sports banter. How are you, Boo?
I'm good. I'm good. Tonight is a big night. It is Arkansas versus Auburn, SEC basketball. Now, I know everyone knows how good Auburn is. That is totally fine. But I am cheering for an upset tonight. So it is midweek SEC game day. So I'm very excited. Gives us something to do with this snow, something to look forward to. And again, love Bruce Pearl's squad. Very talented. But I'm going to bet my money on Arkansas tonight.
Yeah, this is one of those games. Arkansas is usually good for one upset. I know they got Kentucky a few weeks ago. Maybe that was the one upset, but hoping tonight our Hogs, can come through and beat the number one team in the nation. Auburn is very good, but good midweek game for us. We're excited to watch, and so really, we got a lot of things we're going to talk about today. Netflix shows, cocktails, lots of good stuff. So. We're just going to keep it on the men's and women's basketball. Obviously, big game tonight. We already talked about Arkansas and Auburn. Yep. Wanted to talk about a couple of games that have already happened. Obviously, we're here in Nashville, going to the women's side. Michaela Blake from Vanderbilt, the freshman, she scored 55 points this weekend in a win over Auburn. I'm not sure how I have not heard of her yet, but we were eating dinner the other night. We heard 55 points, and I immediately was like, who is that?
Yeah. Yeah, she's a class act. I love listening to her post-game speech, and she talks a lot about her team and about how she's doing this, just not just for herself, of course, but for her team and to put, Vandy on the map. And it kind of was really cool to see her be so skilled as just a freshman already, how she spoke. The other thing I love watching her, she has a very smooth shot, and she, her release is just beautiful, and I kind of think she's going to be a hard one to guard throughout the next couple of years of her playing. So I'm excited to watch her, especially here in Nashville. And it's just been fun to watch Vanderbilt be successful this year at some things because they've been at the bottom of the SEC for so long. So I'm a fan, and then we've got a couple things to look forward to because in I think a week and a half, Vandy and Arkansas play. So we'll be getting to go to that game here in Nashville. So
yeah, it's probably a bubble game at this point for both schools.
Yep.
We're probably going to need that if they want to make it to the big dance in March, which I know we're so close to and we love that time of year.
Yep.
We talked about to figure out we'll talk about some bets and games and brackets, and maybe we'll do one-on-one or invite some others to join. But big March Madness fans in this house, and can't wait for that.
The year. So if you really want to see some banter go on, it's going to be probably pretty intense between Chris and I. But we do have a lot of fun with it. And former college athletes, both us here, Chris played football, I played volleyball. We're very proud of that time of year. And to make it even more exciting, the SEC basketball tournament is here in Nashville. And if you have not got to be a part of that, it is really cool. Chris talks about it. He's like, you can see everybody walking down Broadway representing their SEC team. I absolutely love it. We're going into spring. We're getting sunshine. All my favorite things at one time.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best times to visit Nashville. Usually some spring weather's kicking in.
Yep.
You got all the SEC schools represented. I know Atlanta's kind of known as SEC capital of, the South. I would say Nashville's a very close second, especially with the men's SEC basketball tournament. It's an exciting time. We went last year. It's awesome. And this year with so many teams being good and potentially going to the tournament, it should be a lot of fun. So if you've never been, great time to come visit Nashville. And hopefully when we're down there, we'll see some people we know. Maybe traveling in. Some Hog fans would be nice, come on over. Continuing with some of the men's basketball, I know there was a couple games that we caught up with last night. One of them was a shock. I don't know what's going on with Kansas. They got absolutely destroyed by BYU.
Yeah. I woke up to that one and it was like 50 something to 90 something, if I'm right.
Yeah, 91-57.
Yeah, and Kansas is they do this. They every year they have these like weird losses. They play teams like they shouldn't play them. I still think Kansas is good this year. I think they're gonna go far in the tournament. Chris may have a little bit of a different opinion on that one. I've always been a kind of a Jayhawk fan. I love Bill Self too, so I think that they will pull it together. They have the talent this year to do it. But we did not watch that game last night. I did catch a little bit of the LSU South Carolina game, the bottom of the barrel in the SEC. And it is the bottom of the barrel. I will say that. I saw some brick three.
I think that's why we didn't watch the Kansas game, because we started with that game. We were like, no, not tonight.
I know. But I will say, I will shout out Mississippi State beating Texas A&M last night pretty handily. And that game was fun to watch. I like rooting for Mississippi State. I know you're not an Ole Miss fan, Chris. So he's a
Go Dogs,
Ole Miss.
Mississippi State in that state.
So, but it was cool to see Mississippi State pull out. I think it's their fifth top 25 win this year. So they're a sleeper, and I think that they will possibly go far in the tournament. They have some energy that I really like watching, and they kind of have a little spark. They're kind of fearless. So I think they'll be a team that'll be fun to watch in the tournament.
They're a gritty team. Texas A&M's a gritty team.
Yep.
That was a good midweek matchup for a Tuesday night. Both those schools are looking like a lock for the tournament. And
Florida looked good again last night as well.
Yeah,
They're
looks good.
They're the 2 seed right now, and they look like a 2 seed. So
no, there's some SEC stuff. It's going to be fun. A lot of people are saying winning the SEC tournament might be harder than winning the national, the NCAA tournament. Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully, one of the SEC teams comes out on top. That would add to a magical season.
I love it.
Staying within sports, obviously, I think this is something you've been passionate about. The Athletes Unlimited League has been here in Nashville too. They started in 2020. They've been in some different cities. I know last year they were in Dallas, and from what I saw this morning, the attendance has increased 140% while being here in Nashville versus last year. And that's really important because Nashville is looking to win a bid for a WNBA franchise. Yep. Seeing the excitement for women's basketball and sports in general is something that's showing the interest here. And so I know it's a league you've been passionate about and wanting to go see.
Yeah. Chris, you know how you said you wanted your jersey? Well, I just really want to go to the game on Sunday, or the 2 games on Sunday. So just a little bit about AU. I believe they have softball, volleyball, and basketball right now. And just a really cool thing with the teams like draft. They create their rosters. And it's a really cool way just to see professional athletes outside a lot of times of their season, and for them to also just be in cities that they're trying to get, energy and maybe get a team to be in possibly, or get something going. I'm cheering for a WNBA team here. I think it's very possible. I'm also cheering for a volleyball team here. So I do not understand why that is not here right now. That has got to be here. So lots of really cool things happening in Nashville for women's sports. So I'm looking forward to going to Sunday, and hopefully we'll be able to report back some cool stuff.
Yeah. No, and again, I think, trying to get a WNBA franchise. I know Tim McGraw, Faith Hill are part of the bid. I think Peyton Manning's involved. I know the former governor and his wife. I think the proposed name is the Tennessee Summit.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. And so I think a decision is supposed to be made towards the end of this year on the next expansion franchise. Fingers crossed that'll be here in Nashville. And so we'll keep our eyes peeled and ears open to see if that comes to fruition. I know we would both be very excited about that. Maybe Paige Beckers will come play in Nashville. That would be ideal. Then now we're talking. Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, we gotta make that happen. Speak it into fruition. And then kind of last thing on sports, but a major event this week is USA Hockey versus Canada round 2.
Yeah.
I know this past weekend there was some big time hype, and then ended up being 3 fights in the first 10 seconds.
Yep.
This is probably one of the coolest things we've seen, even if you're not a big hockey fan. is something that everybody's getting into, because hey, USA, it's us versus them, and so I know we are excited to watch the game tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, when they boo your national anthem, you have got to have some pride. And one thing I love about hockey, I actually did not get to play hockey. A little backstory, I did not play hockey growing up. Did not know a lot about it till recently. Been able to watch the Preds here in Nashville, but I will say it is the sport that I should have played. I was in the wrong sport my entire life. Well, Chris will rightfully agree with me on this. But when your team is getting booed by the national anthem, like, and you get out there and you actually fight for your country, I think it's just like a really cool way right now to see the people all come together in the United States and all come for one cause and love and support our country. So I'm thrilled about it. Not condoning violence by any means, but I'm just saying, like, it is great to see people fight for their country and get out there and like be ready to beat somebody with like some true passion. So I love it. I love the grittiness of it. It's going to be really cool to watch it again.
Yeah, the energy was high. I can only imagine what tomorrow is going to be like, and that's something we both feed off of when there's big events like this. Like we're locked in. And what's cool too is a lot of these players they play together in the NHL. So
Right.
I'm sure this tournament will transition to maybe some of the second half play for the NHL season too, and going into those playoffs. So it should be interesting. I think we'll probably watch more hockey than we ever have before, thanks to this nation's tournament that's going on, which is really cool. And yeah, you definitely missed your calling. I don't know your dynamics on the ice, but I know if there needed to be a spark, you you could get out there and cause some fights and some ruckus, and it would be interesting for sure.
Rollerblader, I feel like they would correlate a little bit. I see that,
Yeah.
but
Well, then
yes.
that was the roller fighting, the girls hitting each other. I
Roller
probably yeah, roller derby. Yeah, I feel like you'd have been good there too. You could have started there.
One of those sports would have been great for me, but I do agree. I love the passion in hockey. I love to see people like, I mean, it is a skill to have that much equipment on and to skate that fast on the ice and to be that skilled of an athlete, like with a very niche skill set. So hockey's awesome. It's fun to watch. But yeah, I would have been the fighter for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, and they're definitely. You had the NBA All Star Weekend, NHL just completely took that over and showed how to run an event. So NBA probably needs to take some notes on that. But we're excited to watch that tomorrow night. Um, Moving on, let's obviously we like to talk about health. We're very much into fitness and the way we eat. And I know you wanted to mention a product that we've been taking pretty religiously of late. We've had it before. We're starting to order it on a consistent basis for our post workouts. What is something you've been enjoying for our post workout routine lately?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always about like whole foods, real food. But sometimes like we've been busy and like this weekend, last couple weeks have been busy. We've been trying to figure out how to go from place to place and just we need something quick. And so I have been loving Slate. It is a protein like milk kind of non-lactose, which is great. 1 gram of sugar, no carbs, and it is lactose free. And I just love the flavors out of this world. We've been getting the 3 chocolate pack. I think it's milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and French vanilla. And I will say, like, the flavors are better than like drinking a chocolate milk and a protein shake. But it's very clean, and I'm just thankful for something like that. Also doesn't spike my blood sugar. And you'll learn more as we kind of talk in the next few podcasts about my health journey as a type 1 diabetic, and how I use food and exercise to manage it and how I've been doing that. But I have been loving Slate. So if you're somebody who needs a quick fix, and it doesn't have to be post-workout, but it is a great protein, 20 grams of protein that you might need real quick. It is where I've been going to lately.
Yeah, it's been great. We don't leave the house without it. We after our workout, we drink it while we're on our way to the sauna. It's a great little in between snack, obviously to get the protein in.
Yep.
Tastes really good and can't recommend it enough. I think we order a 12-pack off Amazon every few days now.
Yeah. Also have caffeinated flavors are caffeinated as well. So if you're
Right.
somebody who really needs that caffeine, I never condone caffeine. I love caffeine. So yeah, they have that as well. But we've been drinking it post workout. Definitely highly recommend, especially them if you struggle with like any kind of dairy issues as well. It is fantastic.
Yeah. No, super good. And yeah, let us know if you try it. It's really good. Um, Something else we've been busy with, kind of sorta. We've been catching up on some shows.
Yeah.
In this house, we watch sports 99% of the time. But the sauna, they have Netflix built in on the flat screen. So I know we've been catching up on some shows there. On some all sports nights, we've got a couple we've been watching. So I want to talk about a few uh, that we've been catching up on. So actually, the first one, it was not even on Netflix. It's on Apple TV, but it's one of our favorites, Shrinking,
Yeah.
with Harrison Ford and Jason Segel.
Yeah, if you have not seen this, you need to. There's 2 seasons so far. And I will say, out of my top 5 shows that I've ever watched, Friends and Seinfeld is 2 of my top 5. This is in my top 5. So I absolutely love this show. It is so funny. And if you're in the middle age group bracket like us, you will get the comedy because it is great. I'm not going to give away the plot. But I will say Harrison Ford just makes the show. And if you are somebody who needs a good laugh before you go to bed, I'm that kind of person. Or just something that like really brings out joy and really gets you thinking, like deeply thinking, but like in a positive way. This is the show for you. And I will say I'm super excited for the next season to come out. Heartwarming, hilarious, and just overall, like I said, brings out really positive vibes and makes you think about doing better for others as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great show. It's If you've seen Ted Lasso, the comedy's kind of similar to Apple TV has a certain way of doing shows. It's great. It's definitely one of my favorites as well. Jason Segel's hilarious in there. There's some other characters too, but it's awesome. 2 seasons, highly recommend it. Um, Another one we've been watching, No Good Deed, with Lisa Kudrow and Ray Romano. We started it on Sunday. We've got one episode left, but dark comedy, super funny.
Yeah,
Loving that.
it's like a mystery. If you were into Only Murders in the Building with Martin Short, and Steve Martin and Selena Gomez, which is another one of my really good favorites. If you haven't watched that, go watch that. It's a good mystery. But this one's funny, a little darker, and it will make you really like laugh and get tickled. And also, it just brings out like a good mystery, and I love a good mystery. So I think it's one that you can watch quick. The episodes are pretty short. And who doesn't love Ray Romano and Lisa Kudrow together in a completely different role than they've ever played or that I've ever seen them in? So it's enjoyable, easy, fun. Anyone in your family can watch with you too. So I think it's great.
Yeah, super funny. It's a great show. Couple of others. I watched Squid Game season 2 in the sauna. It was good. I thought it could be better. They definitely set it up for a season 3. I know a lot of people that watched it. It became a big deal. It's good. Interested to see how they finish it out. So definitely, I'd recommend watching it. Another one that we both watched was the Aaron Rodgers documentary, which is interesting. I know a lot of people, you either hate Aaron Rodgers or love Aaron Rodgers.
I know I was posting about watching it in the sauna and people were like, oh my gosh, I can't stand Aaron Rodgers or, different things. I get it. Aaron Rodgers is a character. I think that's a good way to explain him. I actually really enjoy the documentary because I love learning about people and how they think and what they do and seeing what their like true life really is and not what we assume it is. I think that's a good part of growth. And for me, I never want to judge somebody. I'm not walking in their shoes. And so I think learning like what challenges somebody else might be going through is really cool. It's really good for us. And this one is definitely one of those shows for you to watch. Love sports. And then actually, like you said, Chris, like there are moments where you hate Aaron Rodgers. There are moments where you really liked Aaron Rodgers. I also love that he has a holistic approach in this. He does a lot of really cool things that I had no idea that he does. And so if you just want like a quick, interesting watch and you're needing something like sports related, but also kind of like motivational in a way, I think this is a great one to watch.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It was again, there were times where I really liked him in the documentary. Other times I was like, man, this guy's weird. But I appreciated both sides of that and just learned a lot more about situations I didn't know before. Definitely the holistic approach on his recovery was super impressive on how he went about that. his Achilles injury at his age to come back from that to play this last year that was an incredible progression that you get to see. And so, yeah, I mean, love him or hate him, I think it's a good, if you like football for sure, it's a good watch. Would highly recommend it. Any other one we've been on? Apple cider vinegar. We're a little like iffy on it. We're about halfway through watching that at the sauna, but yeah, I mean it's okay so far.
Yeah, I have like I'm indifferent so far on apple cider vinegar. Super excited like watching the previews to start it. It was a slow start for me, so it's one of those I've had to kind of hang on a little bit. I'll give a little bit of a backstory line on it. It is about a person who somewhat of a true story, different characters, but based on a true story, and a person who said that they had brain cancer, they didn't have brain cancer, but how they use social media and a holistic approach to heal. And then they ended up kind of creating an empire with it based on an actual false story. There's a lot to it, and it's very interesting. And so far, I love the part about a holistic approach and learning about cancer and different things. And there are some like good nuggets of information in it, but still on the verdict if it's like really good. I'm not finished, but I should be finished this week. But it's hooking, but it's also reminds me a little bit of Anna Delvey's story, which I loved, and it's not as good as far as like the drama in that as well. But definitely love the holistic approach, love learning about how people, overcome things and possibilities of what people might be doing, and learning again what it is like to walk in somebody else's shoes and what they might be thinking and dealing with. So you'll see Chris and I, we are really strongly led to like, learn about other people and learn about how they walk, what their life might be like. And we never know what it's like to walk in somebody else's shoes, and just be open to learning without changing our values and our morals. And so I think that's like the really cool thing about some of these shows. It really opens your eyes to seeing some of those opportunities.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. And so, yeah, interested to see how it ends. Again, it's entertaining, and so yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Um, no, I guess to end things, obviously, it's game night, and in this house, we are not opposed to a good cocktail while we watch the game. I know you've had a specific drink of late that has been your preference. What has that been?
Yeah, so again, like trying to keep on the health journey. I'm not condoning alcohol by any means and saying it is healthy. But I will say it is nice every little bit to have a game day drink. And I have been, of course, like trying to avoid like seltzers and different things and just anything added sugar. So we say cocktails, but I'm not sure mine's a true cocktail. But I have just been drinking organic, believe that we call it Authentica, tequila and on the rocks with 2 limes. I will say very smooth, very relaxing. And again, I've had no blood sugar spikes because of it. So I've enjoyed being able to have a little drink during the game. So that has been my choice recently. Chris, what about you? What are you drinking, or what are you not drinking, shall I say?
Yeah, I guess I should have. We're not drinking cocktails in this house. We drink real drinks, on the rocks. So, no, I'm not. It'll be a game time decision for me. I've got some bottles of tequila that I like. LC and Prey Reposado. Uh, Reposado is one that I've really enjoyed. There's another one called La Gritonia that I found on a beach trip this past summer, and so I've got those as options. I also have a big bottle of Bullet bourbon from Costco. We're big Costco
Big
people.
Costco people here. Big Costco people.
They've got an impressive liquor section here in Nashville, and so again, I don't know. It'll either be tequila on the rocks or bourbon, and so we'll see how that plays out around 7:45 tonight as I'm filling it before tip off. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But no, great episode. Is there anything that you'd like to say before we?
I was we have to talk about Costco at some point because we do go there a lot. We spend a lot of time, a lot of money there. The pros and the cons of Costco for sure. We'll have to do an episode on that. What we buy and what we don't buy at Costco. I love that, and I think that would be really interesting. And then also we'll talk soon. It's kind of my health journey about having type 1 diabetes and what I've been going through. And some of the things that's been keeping us busy. But tonight we got to get our workout on. We got to get our sauna. I hope that you got your 10,000 steps in today because that is super important. And I will talk about that in the upcoming episode. And then we love our friends, like we said, at Pure Sweat Sauna in the Gulch. If you get the opportunity to do sauna or have one, or if you have one in your house or you have a place to go, I highly recommend it. It has been a very healing thing for me in multiple aspects of my life. And also, I would give a huge shout out to the Gulch location because the people that work there are fabulous and they will have worked with me through a lot of really fun challenges. And Chris is also in love with the Gulch sauna, Pure Sweat sauna as well. So we're getting to about 166 in there. It's really enjoyable for me. We'll talk more about why we love the infrared sauna soon too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a lot that's been keeping us busy. We've been busy. We got a lot coming up that we're going to be busy with. And no, we've got some different episodes, different things to talk about, obviously. So we're looking forward to doing that. We've got the YouTube channel up. We're working on getting Spotify and Apple Podcast launched. We basically got it. We're just kind of me tweaking some things. And so appreciate you following us on the Instagram. Yeah, appreciate you following us on the Instagram page. We'll keep stuff coming there. And so, no, we appreciate it. And we look forward to the next podcast. See you downstairs, Boo.
Bye,